What is going on, guys? This is Sin. We are back again with another episode of Tekken 7 Road to Ranked, where we climb the online rank ladder with various characters and see how far we can go. We had a bit of a run with Jin earlier. I'm thinking after this session maybe go back to him, cool off just a little bit. Jin's one of those characters where when it starts to go wrong, it goes real wrong, so it was a good time to take a break. So we're going to switch it up, and we're going with Bryan Fury for a few games. Now, as a preface, anybody who seconds Bryan or toys with Bryan or experiments with Bryan, in my experience, we've all done it. We've all watched Knee's videos and we've all watched Napsa's videos, and we think, yeah, let's just land like taunt jet upper and taunt back four and all that sort of stuff. So I do expect I'm going to drop a few games trying to do the fancy stuff and not focusing on what makes Bryan really good, and that's his counter hit game, his spacing game, whiff punishment. So, I mean, I do have a taunt game. It's not great, it's functional, but I am going to have to sort of control myself a little bit. It is a little bit too easy to just try and do the fancy stuff and get robbed. So, here we go, and with the first game, let's see how we do. And it is a geese! Let's go! Okay, so we fought one geese prior to this in Road to Ranked, and my defense was pretty shocking, to be fair, but have done a little bit of practice since. So I'm hoping we can get some nice punishes off, you know, and show off the holes in Geese's offense. A lot of people, even today, I find, still haven't grinded out this matchup anywhere near as well as they should have done, even at a tournament level. So let's see if we can expose a few of the gaps. Straight in with the down 4 forward 3. That's a good sign for me. And we duck the quarter circle back 2 straight into a punish. That Warriors in 1 going in for Oki. Hatchet kick, and he's at the wall. Okay, let's try and keep him there. Fake out on the taunt. Oh, but we get orbital palmed, but no conversion. That is fine by me. We got the duck on the down 4, but no real punish. Now, I'm actually fine with this. He's gone for a back 3-2 conversion. A lot of people will moan about this move, with it being a plus on block, 14 frame mid that launches, blah 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 blah. But he did it in a position where he was already at a massive disadvantage. Now, to me as a Geese player, that is an absolute waste of meter. You should only be burning meter as Geese if it is going to win you the round in that sort of scenario. It's much better to go into the next round when you're down that bar with a bar at advantage. You can snowball so well that way. One thing that is worth noting as well is you want to keep an eye on Geese's meter. When it's below 1 bar at 0, if he goes for back 3-2, it's actually launch punishable on block, so I'm going to be looking to try and get a jet upper on it if he overuses it. And there we go, we get the duck on the down 4 forward 3. He revealed that he goes for the low high pretty much immediately, so we were looking for that. And a very early rage art in this combo. So he's got the Oki on me, but let's see what we can get. Okay, he's playing keep out. Could have probably got a punish on that from that range, no worries. And step in, working around the fireball game, and just poke him out. Nice and solid so far. Okay, whiff on the orbital palm. One nerf in Season 2, that move is much worse on whiff than it used to be. Personally, I don't think it was entirely justified. It's perfectly punishable on a whiff, but well, we still missed it. Okay, he's gone in with a back 3-2. Now, it is only +1 on block. Well, +1, +2. So you do have license to retaliate. Just be aware that Geese can counter hit launch off a crouch jab. Okay, he's going in with down 4-4-3 again, and that is going to get him killed. Okay, so that was a pretty solid game. Picked out the weaknesses in his Geese offense. He didn't really switch it up, so just a couple of answers was all we really needed to take control of that mid-range. And that pretty much shut him down. A couple of panic back 3-2s, but as I said, for the damage you actually get off of it, you know, unless you're getting a full wall carry into full wall conversion, you're talking 50, 55 damage. It's no worse than getting hit by a single Death Fist. Now, if I can rob Geese of a meter in exchange for taking a Death Fist when it's perfectly safe to do so, not a problem. Absolutely fine. So let's go into the rematch, see what he can do. We are on our promotion match, Juggernauts. Let's see if we can hit it. Yeah, switching it up a bit while rising ones. This is a good range to fireball versus Bryan. Bryan can get around the fireballs with his up forward 3. and also back 4, neither of which I really want to be using, but If he tries to use his fireball just outside of his forward 4 range, I would look to try and get an up forward 3 there. But we get another duck into the Horizon 1, and here we go, straight to the wall. Boom, boom. Into the taunt, fake out. And he gets the get up 3. But he doesn't burn his rage out this time, he's keeping his rage, that's smart. Okay, and I actually got away with one there. Went for a down forward 1 to check, but Bryan's down forward 1's actually 14 frames, so pretty much anything he's wanted to do there that would be a counter hit setup was gonna tag me. I think even a down forward 2 would have traded, and traded favourably. So I kinda got lucky. Here we go at the wall. Going with the down forward. Got the block again, but no launch. That's poor. But we get the hit confirm on the Gatling punches. That down forward 1 series, very, very tasty little hit confirm Bryan's got. We're just trying to work in around these fireballs. 8-1 on the way in from the side step, which was disappointing. That was a nice fireball there. And we're checking again with down forward 1. I'm doing it as a panic response because it's what I would do with Jin. It's a little bit crossover between Jin and Bryan, unfortunately. Okay, so he's got the launch into the max damage ender with no Okizeme. A couple of fireballs, but nothing to worry about. There we go. There's an up forward 3, and we sidestep the barge into a low parry conversion. Take him to the wall. Let's see if we can get some taunt fun off. Oh, he blocks. I love trying to land that second knee in Season 2. You get a guaranteed taunt attempt on counter hit. It's sick. And we can again, and we go for the okie doke with that forward 1+4. That move is a very, very quick mid-hitting unblockable, so in that sort of situation you do have to sort of take it, but you have to be aware as a Bryan player that you either do it to kill or you don't do it, because that move is -12 on hit. Even if you get hit by that move, you will get punished. And versus Geese, 12 frames, 40 damage and a knockdown, it's not in your favour to go for it there. I suppose you could potentially do it against something like Asuka, where her punishment is absolute garbage until 13 frames. But not a habit I get into, just giving away 3 damage, especially at the wall. Let's speed my cancels.
New challenger.
Something weak at the minute. I am going to go for a few taunt back 4s. I won't go for taunt jet upper online. I do have it down to a consistency of maybe 1 in 5, 1 in 3 offline, but I would imagine much less so on PSN. So I won't be trying that, but I will try for a couple of taunt back 4s. I do feel I have that down to enough consistency that I don't need the visual cue. Anyway, we've run into a Lei player. Now, Lei was giving me a few problems when I was playing Jin earlier. It's not that I don't know the matchup, I just wasn't playing it particularly well, but let's see how we do with Bryan. I feel like, well, going into the matchup beforehand, I felt like Jin did better against this than Bryan would because of back 2-1, but we were struggling to get floats against his relaxed stances with back 2-1, so I don't really know what to think right now. Well, let's see how this game plays out, and if he does go for it, I'm going to be looking for down back 2s to pick up, knees to counter hit. Down back 3 obviously is a ground hitting move. Now he goes to the down 4-4. I don't actually know what that is on block. I feel like it's big damage, but I'm just not sure. Bit of an okie doke there myself, so I hit confirm quarter circle back 2 with Bryan. The reason being is the follow-up being a high, but it is also a counter hit launcher and very delayable, so sometimes not a bad idea to go for it. And we close it out with the hatchet kick.
Round 2. Fight.
They catch me on the counter hit with that back 2-4. The reason I retaliated is back 2-4, it does look like an easy duck, but you have to be aware as well that if Lei goes back 2 and presses forward, he goes straight into his tiger stance, his most dangerous 50-50. So I was more concerned about shutting that down. Sucks that I got hit by the follow-up, but I'd take it an advantage. And there we go, that's important information. So Lei in tiger stance, traditionally, if he wants to hit you with a mid, you were looking at tiger 3, which was a knockdown jumping mid. That will put him into his sort of sat down while in snake stance. It was safe, but now he has a new option in T7 where he can go for Tiger 2-2, which is mid-high, but it's safe and it's a launcher. So I think he was testing my matchup knowledge there as well to see if I would duck and launch it, and I didn't. And now I've just eaten a Tiger 4. That stance is so tricky. instant high crush. I think it's 15 frames, full combo on here. Obviously, death on block, but if you don't duck it, you don't duck it. And we get the taunt back 4 at the wall. Get in. Spike him in with the soccer kick. And we go for the hatchet kick, and he goes in with the rage art. I gotta watch all the cinematics now. And that is why you don't go in with Bryan sometimes. Okay, he gets the down back one. Somehow it goes under an orbital heal. I don't understand how he crushed that, but there we are. Anyway, he goes for 4 forward 3 4. I correctly read that he's going to follow it up, duck the high and get the launch. That puts us straight back into neutral at a 50-50. He gets his down back 4, but he's not going for down back 4-4, which is interesting. Personally, I'd rather take the higher damage and go for a run-in, but I'm not a lay player. We get the counter hit on the second knee, dash in, get a taunt, but we missed the back 4. That would have closed out the round, but you can't be too pissed about missing frame perfect stuff online. Panic rage art, and we just close it out with a Mach punch. Okay, nice and clean so far. Just got to wrap it up. Hit confirm on the quarter circle back 2 as a whiff finish. Okay, he's going in with jab strings. We get the counter hit on the follow up on the down forward 2. That is a full launch, but because I am a scrub, I missed the combo, and we get hit by Tiger 2-2. Suck kick at the wall into Okazemi. Using Phoenix Dance. 1, 2, he goes low. And that closes it out. I feel like that lay player spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I knew and what I didn't know about the matchup, so I am expecting a rematch here. That felt like he was downloading. Honestly, it wasn't a case of throwing out a lot of random stuff. There was that played out like a lay player trying to get info. So I don't know, maybe we'll see a whole different monster this game. Let's find out. He's not bad, to be fair. Although if I was him, I would consider a little bit more sidestep 3, especially when I'm by the wall. Because if I'm trying to check with my down forward 2 or my jab strings, I do open myself up to sidestep right, and Lei has a very nice mid-hitting sidestep launcher. Here's into Phoenix. I'm pretty sure that's launch, and we get it. So we get up into the wall, into the 50-50s. And he gets out. Snake ones. Oh, and he goes in again. It doesn't look like it, but you can actually block in all of Lei's animal stances, so it's good to know that he's going to go for buttons rather than play a little bit more passive. That opens him up to counter hits, which is always good. He goes for another Panic Rage Art. Let's close this out. And I went for the instant knee. I went for the quarter circle forward 3 to do a flashy finish, just like that. I say flashy, I take pleasure in doing instant knees, and we get the forward 3, keeping him in the game. But we still close. I'll take it. Okay, currently I'm hovering around a range where I want Lei to consider using his forward 3, because I'm not going to get tagged by. I am going to get tagged by the move. The plan was to get a block into a jet upper. And obviously with the 50-50 being in my favour, because he can either get a knockdown high for like 20-25 damage, but to get that he risks a full launch. Goes for the back 2 into Tiger Stance, hits me with the low. I did go for an interrupt, but I must have just been too slow. It is perfectly interruptible, but you have to be on point for it. You can't be waiting for the follow-up. If you are, he's already had enough time to go into a mix-up. So ran afoul of the mix-up there. Good punish on the hop kick, get the jabs. And again, you'll notice after the jabs, even though I'm at a lot of advantage, I am backing off, mostly because I want to see how willing he is to do his panic moves. I want to look for cannonballs. He goes for the back 2 again. I'm not falling for it this time. Take him out for the low. Put him on the wall. Boom, boom. 50-50. And we get the taunt 2-1-4.
Round 4.
Pretty clean round. It's also worth finding out versus a lay player just how good their whiff punishment is with that forward 4-3. If they've got an absolute lock on it, okay, he goes for the mid. We're definitely at that time. Always worth switching a few defensive options, even at lower ranks like these, because yeah, you do get your flow charts, but even the most basic player understands 50-50. If you block the big low, you can pretty much be assured, especially at this level of mid, is going to be coming out next. We get another punish on that Phoenix 2. Into the flashy combo. That is, yeah, you're not getting away from that. Sit down. Yeah, after a big advantage, I'm looking to try and get a read in his crush options. So I want to see cannonballs, I want to see down back 4s, I want to see his back sway blows. I want to see the backflip kicks. I want to know what he does when he really wants me off me. And I seem to have quite a lot of control at the mid-range versus this guy, so sometimes it's worth copping, you know, a guaranteed 50-50 just to get a little bit more data.
Come on.
Alright, let's go in for game 3.
Fight.
Back off just a little bit, let's see. Let's give him the opportunity to start. He doesn't do anything, so we're going in with slash kicks. I went for the knee counter hit, but misspaced it horribly. Forward 3 pressure. Okay, he's going to push buttons after that. That's forward 3 is a counter hit launch, but it is plus on block. Now, you did just see then I ducked the Dragon 1. So important to be able to duck Dragon 1. That move's a throw, but it has a 1 break. You want to be very careful though, because if Lei holds back, he will do the full animation of coming towards you, and he will stop. If you go for the throw break there, you're going to go out with a jab. Lei can counter hit you for big damage there if you go for it. It's an old school Lei player trick, so you have to get comfortable with seeing the swing and just ducking, because it kills the mix-up. If he goes for a move expecting you to break, you're going to counter hit him, so you don't need to worry about him blocking. Generally speaking, if you see that, Lei's going to keep going in. It's very rare you see a Lei player do Dragon 1 back into a block. Get the counter hit on the 1+2. Now, I forgot in Season 2 the knockdown is different on that move, so didn't get a conversion because I was kind of taken aback. And he closes it out with a down 4-4. Well played.
Round 3. Fight.
I'm still waiting on these shenanigans, though, I must say. Oh, here we go. Okay, it begins. It begins. Gives up his back 10 mix-up. Interesting. But now I've got him on the wall. Sidestep 1. Put him back there. I'm hoping he's going to show me a little bit more respect, but then again, I've represented taunt, so people tend to be a little bit more buttonsy, because although you can sidestep it in some situations, you are going to want to be counter-hitting that. I mean, you're risking 0 damage on the trade, so unless the Bryan player hits his just frames, but it could be worse. It's not like getting counter-hit by 3+4, so best answer really to seeing the taunt coming is either just stay down, or if you've got enough time, go for the interrupt. Certainly don't try and move out of it, I would say. I keep trying to go for that taunt, that dash up taunt in mid-screen. Very, very difficult to do. We've got him on the wall though, down about 1+2 to secure the Oki, got the taunt back 4, and what the fuck? How is man whipping Mark Punch there? I don't even know. We did all the hard stuff, got him on the wall, the big hitbox high, and straight between his legs. Oh, these tricky small characters. I have no idea how that... I mean, we still won the round. I think the guy sort of gave up himself and was like, nah, you deserve that. And but... Oh, that feels bad. I hate it when that sort of stuff happens. I seldom ever see that whiff. Still, there is a lesson in there. Don't try to go for flashy enders. Just take your bread and butter. If I'd have gone for like a back 3 into double knees, would have been fine. That's what you get for trying to run with Mac Punch, I guess. This guy's giving me another match. This guy has given me a lot of games. I feel like any sort of long set is always going to be in a Bryan player's favour, because Bryan has really, really good mix-ups and great counter-hit tools. But I think the thing with Bryan is you need data. He's one of those characters where he excels if you've got a much better idea of what your opponent's going to do, as opposed to Lei, who can play more of a 50-50 game. Lei's a great long set character as well, don't get me wrong, but he's much stronger in short sets, so I feel like being this far ahead in a short set already just sets me up for the long game. And it's going to be very difficult for him to come back, but he does start to go in a little bit harder. Dash in with that down back 4-4. I wasn't willing to duck and I paid the price. He was whipping that wake up mid. We get the jet upper, but we don't get a punish, but then he goes straight into another launch punishable move. I don't know if it's 14 or 15, but it's definitely jet upper on block. So we get the full damage. In the back, also go back 2-4. I should start going for 3-3-2 when I get in the back, especially versus Lei, who spends so much time back turned. With just take a 3-hit launch. There was some Mac Punch pressure there, but nothing doing. Got a little bit cheeky there, went for a dash up throw, but Ooh, excellent duck on the side step 1. No punish, but and we get the floats. No conversion as we went for down 4-2-3 for a grounded counter hit. You're not going to get anything after that. Fishing for counter hits at the wall there with the down 2. There was a slight delay on the 3 that I was kind of hoping to pin him. Sometimes they just don't work out there. And he's dashing in again. I was expecting something a little bit more conservative, so I went for the side step and got hit straight into the barge. Sometimes the most obvious option is the best. Caught him ducking at the wall, into socket kick pressure, hatchet kick, and all the plus frames in the world. This round should be on total lockdown. He goes for the... How did that not punish? I don't understand how that didn't hit him, but never mind, we closed out the round. Must have just been too slow. Okay, get the counter hit on the 4-3 series. Drop the combo, because why wouldn't we drop the combo? Up to the heel pressure. Move is only -5 on block, so you still have license for a little bit of creativity if you've got a good read after an orbital. Good block on the down 4-2-3 there. That was full delay. Great patience from the guy, but no punish. Then again, as I recall, the only way you're going to punish that with delay reliably, you would have to be frame perfect. I think you'd have to do forward neutral 3-1-2. He's going in with the Rage Art. That's just not going to work, and that closes out the game. So far, it's an interesting lay. He's got a good Tiger game. His neutral game's not bad. Few holes. I would like to see a lot more down forward 1 personally with lay. Fantastic move. Maybe some forward 3-1s just to test the waters, see how well I can duck it, because he's got so much mid-range control. If I'm not able to duck that, he's going to have total control of the mid-range, which is so bad for Bryan. I'm slightly disappointed in his forward 3 game. I mean, he's placing it well, but it's not as dangerous as I was expecting. The one thing I find very strange is he's not really running a Panther mixer. Panther giving you the unreactable low knockdown, mixed in with the mid-launch. That's only -10 on block. Fantastic stance, but he's just not going for it. Anyway, we're back onto our promotion match, going on to Usurper. Assuming this goes as well as it does. There we go, we got the interrupt on the Tiger stance. I only went for a crouch jab there because I wasn't 100% if he was going to go for a back 2-4. Obviously back 2-4 is a high. He probably would have crushed it, but most likely in my favour because of the whiff recovery had he followed up. I would imagine he'd have gone over that crouch jab, but puts me in a better situation. Anyway, we get the orbital, and I go for the flashy 4-knee combo and immediately mess it up. But never mind. We get the jet up and punish on that again. He does need to stop going for that. I've shown so many times that I can launch that, and I'm going to keep launching it. I just take it out of the game entirely now. If I'm waiting for the move, there's no need to do a power crush because I'm not attacking, I'm blocking, I'm waiting. So take a 50-50. Anyway, we've got him back to the wall, pinned him for the Oki. He stays down. Good defense. Oh, that's unlucky on his part. He went for the 50-50. He played it absolutely beautifully, but he does get the counter hit on the Phoenix 2. Going for that crane kick low. A little bit too obvious on the low there, unfortunately for him. Okay, went in for a down back 4, interrupted it and straight in with the forward 1+4. Now, if your Bryan is good enough, it's almost never worth going for the forward 1+4 because what you can do that's just as, well, pretty much just as quick as you can just do taunt 1-4. 1-4 being his 10 frame punish. It leaves you at mad plus frames. It's actually more damage than that unblockable as well, and obviously completely safe on block unless they duck. So generally the more optimal motion is to go for the taunt 1-4. The forward 1+4 is more like an old school okie doke, but I didn't trust my execution. Sometimes it's nice just to be able to kill in a single button. Anyway, we've got him back on the wall. He's going to stay down again. No, he is not. I even went for the double taunt to wait for it, but he played that really nicely. Cancelling the dragon stance and coming in with jabs. Still don't really know what to do about that down 4-4. I'm going to have to lab it later. Get the low hit, but that was a fake out. That is not going to hit, sir. I saw it coming, and now you can watch my cinematics. And that brings us through to Usurper. He was absolutely right to go for that, though. If he felt there was a follow-up come in, the mid is fairly safe. It's like jab punishable or maybe -12, but it's a mid that will hit grounded in most situations. It gives you the world, and it's got just enough delay that you can counter hit jabs and whatnot. But because of that delay, it does open itself up to rage arts. The thing is, if you cancel it, you're completely safe. So he made a correct. Well, it wasn't a correct. He made an incorrect read, but he had the right idea.
Round one.
Anyway, this guy's still going. I'm going to keep playing purely because this is actually kind of a fun set. He gets the Dragon 1 on me, but we do get the break. No duck, unfortunately, so I did open myself up to a counter hit launch there, but this late into the set, he's only gone for it once. Now he knows. So I think next time I'm going to respect his knowledge of his own 50-50s, and I'm just going to go straight in with something like, I don't know, an orbital wheel, I think, next time I see it. I certainly don't want to be going for a back one, which with the break with Bryan, if I'm holding back and I try to break a one throw, I am going to get back one. Would be fine, but it's just too slow, which opens myself up to those counter hits. He's going in with a capital punishment now. Pretty linear, great move online because it's harder to step than it should be, but misguided, I would say, to go for mix-ups afterwards on block. But finally we see some representation from that down forward 1-1-1. Unsafe final hits, but fantastic mid nonetheless. Lots of damage, big wall flat. And he gets the big cannonball, but no conversion. That is a full combo with Lei. All you have to do is recover from grounded, and then go in with your full crouch down forward 2-1-3, I think it is. Now he's doing Tiger at full screen. You motherfucker. I hate it when they do that, especially as a little known fact, when Lei's in Tiger stance, if he presses forward, it's actually a punch parry as well. So it's super defensive while putting a lot of pressure on. Okay, so that's where you saw there. I tried to go for something really flashy. I put him on the wall high, so I was going to go for a taunt into down back 1+2 to break the wall. But I must have still been holding forwards, and the taunt came out as a throw. That's what the missed input looks like on it. Down back 2 to pick him up. That was also to chase down the Tiger stance. Bit of low pressure. With the orbital again, but got away with one there. We get the launch, get the wall break. I seem to think that I have a screw attack still, and I don't. So you could argue I dropped a game-winning combo there, but never mind. Still comfortably ahead this round. So we'll keep going. Gets the counter hit on the down 4-4. That was nice. Poking me out of the Mach punch. Putting him back onto the wall though with that ender. And now he's in a lot of trouble. We get the taunt back 4. This is over. See, that's what I should have done the first game. Put a Mach kick on first and then Mach punch. Just sets up the timing absolutely perfectly on it. So what is that now? That's I want to say that's 3 taunt back 4s out of maybe 5 or 6 attempts. It's not great, but it's playable. We're getting the juice at the wall in any case. I'm putting the fear of God in him at the wall, which is more what taunt's about. Quick drink and back into the next game. How many games is this now versus this guy? 7, I want to say. Yeah, I think this is the 7th game. God, this has turned into a deathmatch. Well, I suppose it was a deathmatch. Who seems to have overrun? I like playing against Lei a little bit too much. This is one of those matchups that I enjoy because the set really evolves nicely. Lei's got enough diversity in his move pool that he can get super creative, and because I'm a defensive player, I love the idea of sort of breaking down, a puzzle that keeps changing. So Lei's one of those characters I really like to run sets with. We missed the taunt, but we get the back 4 anyway. I missed the conversion. Oh well, I shouldn't have landed it anyway, in fairness. Get the Mach punch, yes. Not the Mach punch, the jet upper. And we missed the unblockable, and that is why you should go for taunt 1-4. And that has cost me the whole game. Just about anything else would have got it. Oh, that sucks. He goes for his back sway blow, but it whiffs. I am honestly surprised that whiffed, but Bryan's down back 3 does have a retreating hitbox, so it does make sense. It's a move that's very hard to chase down. He's just got this wall of damage in front of where his body actually is, so worst case scenario normally, you just unless it's a crush, you're just going to trade at best, and normally get stuck. Okay, that was poor defense on my part. I knew the follow-up was coming, but I just didn't duck in time. With Bryan, you should versus that move, you should either be getting counter hit by the follow-up, or you should be ducking it. You should never be blocking it outright, because otherwise you're just giving Lei total free reign. You're going to miss the punish on the forward 4-3, and if he does the follow-up, it's completely safe. See, there we go. You saw the duck on it. That was me expecting the follow-up once again. So with the move being -14 on block, Bryan can very cleanly jet upper it, which is a really good thing in the matchup for Bryan. Just close this out. There we go, just down here, just to keep it nice and safe-ish. Let's go with the stance into the hatchet kick, and we get the counter hits. That leaves us at +4 or so. So we're always going to get a counter hit on that down forward too. Love that cheeky little elbow. Putting him back onto the wall now. Double knees. Let's go. And nice. I was a little bit concerned about him going to ground, but I felt like if he goes for anything in the way of a down back 4 or a hop kick, that back one's just gonna smash through everything. And the block stun was enough to just take the uninterruptible mid, and he didn't block. Now, I'm not sure if that's actually a punish or not. I don't know the frames on the latter half of his Raven Rush well enough. And I'm disappointed there. I got the correct read that he was going to follow up that 2-4. I went for the full big Fisherman Slam rather than Warriors in 1. And somehow, being able to do Warriors in 2 forward 2 just completely bypassed me, and I messed it up. But never mind. Put him back onto the wall, end it with a mat punch, and that closes out the next game. Another drink. Voice is getting hoarse already.
For the next battle.
Let's keep this going. One of the most important things about to note in a late player is you want to see their consistency in the mid-range. It's very easy if somebody's picked up late to just treat him as a 50-50 character, and he's actually got a very, very solid neutral. So a lot more respect, I feel, should be shown to a late player in the neutral game. The 50-50s are dangerous, but they can absolutely hang just playing nice and slow. So you want to make sure you've got a very firm grasp on the mid-range if you want to play that sort of game, because they can fight back pretty much at any range, I would say. I don't think he likes having people in your face pushing buttons, purely because his panic options are risky as fuck. And he doesn't necessarily have the best options. He has a poor hitbox on his hop kick, for example. And you don't want to be high crushing the down back 4. Well, you do, but not always. Anyway, nice wall combo to end it. Ah, that sucks. I had a read he was going to do something silly. He goes for the back sway blow, and the orbital just whiffed entirely. We got the punish on the 4-3-2-1 there, 3-1-2 even, which is nice. But then he takes him into school on with punishment with that forward-3. Nicely played. He's going in for a 50-50. We sidestep it, which is nice. Sidestep right versus that. Let's beat both options. Harada's finger had me turn around there. He had me cleanly beat. So in this game, if you are defending against a string and you get around it, sidestep, even if you get to somebody's back and they follow up the string, if you've already pushed the button to get that whiff punishment, the string will physically either turn around or it will just hit you. Like I've hit people who have playing Devil Gen, people have sidestepped my hell sweep and I followed it up, and they have been behind me physically in my back, and they've been counter hit by the second hit. Like the kick not even hitting them, the kick still hitting forwards and then just being tagged by it. So there's another good reason to use that down 2-3. Great counter hit fishing tool, but also because it's so delayable, it's a good way to catch people. It's scummy as anything, but it is a good trick. Or rather, well, it's not really a trick, it's not something you set up, it's something the opponent has to set up around, but you can play around it with that string is probably the better way to say it. We get the counter hit 4, get that magic 4, but I'm not very good at converting on magic 4s. Never have been. Being a Mishima player, it's, well, from pretty much the get-go, it's not something I ever really practiced fishing for, so going in with like dash jabs and stuff, just, it's not a conversion I'm comfortable with pretty much with any character, to be honest with you. So, shame we missed it, but certainly something we can practice at a later date. Well, it's good to see that he's starting to play a little bit more pokey at the front range, at the closer range. But honestly, if I was him, I'd play heavier on the Panther. Panther stance would get him a lot more juice than he's currently getting. I think he's well, pretty much throughout the whole set, he's been a little bit too respectable. I mean, don't get me wrong, nobody wants to be the guy who just uses gimmicks and tries to, you know, cheese out on first to ones or whatever. Nobody wants to be that guy. Great duck on the 4-3-1. But that being said, if you're playing this sort of tricky character, you've got to be a little bit more tricky in places. There's nothing wrong with going for a bit of cheese. For example, I go for the snake edge. That wasn't even a missed. That wasn't even a missed knee. I just felt like snake edge would be funny to land and instantly shut down. Still, he only got a low parry and very little damage, so certainly not the risk. The risk it's made out to be there. Maybe I should do it more. And again, I don't like doing snake edge. He goes in for the back 2 mix-up again, but once again we get a clean counter hit. That's pretty much my go-to option because of how many ways around it he has. Side roll on our wake up to get around the jumping roll. You don't want to take that 50-50. It sucks. Okay, starting to adapt now. In Phoenix stance, he oh god, lag. Oh, all of the lag. In Phoenix stance, rather than going for the mid, he went low this time. But I'm not going to take that 50-50. He must have thought that because the low is as chunky as it is with plus frames, that I'd be willing to duck, but it just isn't enough damage to make me want to, and it's not a knockdown. You know, I'm not risking anything major. Ultimately, he's still in snake stance. Snake isn't going to scare me, unless I push buttons, so I'm kind of comfortable to let him just hang himself there, and if he's willing to keep doing those Phoenix 2s, then I am just going to keep jet uppering them. We missed the taunt, but we do get a back sway away from the down back 4. Confirmed what the move was, ducked the second hit, got our launch, and that was in the wall. And we close it out with a socky kick. Socky kick is probably your best answer with Bryan. If it is risky. It's -10, -11. Against certain characters, Akuma who could get a full combo, Jin who's going to get a knockdown. Quite a few characters going to keep you very honest if you're trying to use that move. But at the same time, when you're going for taunt pressure at the wall, that is the #1 way to get them to stand up and block, and that is all you want them to do as Bryan. If you're running a taunt game, get them to stand at the wall. The mix-up is just so heavily in your favour, and especially if they've got rage, because they'll see the taunt and they'll go for something like a rage art or a power crush or something evasive, and taunt doesn't commit you. You can always hold back during any part of taunt, unless you actually get the hit and you're going for an attack. You're safe all the way through, or rather, you can make it safe all the way through. But anything cinematic-y, anything with big startup, you can just chase it down. He's going for the tiger, and that's the parry I'm talking about when he pushes forward with tiger. That's one of the reasons I really hate it when lay players start dancing in tiger stance there. I want to shut it down. I don't want to give him a free 50-50, but at the same time, he can just sort of parry out of the way. Stance is so good. Okay, he's got me on the wall. What's his mix-up? 4-3-1, okay, and backspins away. I whiffed the Mach punch, but he did go for a full extension on that down forward 1, so we took the punish, get the counter hit, and we've got him by the wall again. Second knee, and just dash in with the low this time. I'm not going for any more taunt shenanigans mid-screen. By the wall, absolutely I will do, because I've got a guaranteed attempt at that taunt back 4 into death. He caught me ducking there. I read it down back 4. That's my bad. But we do get it anyway, into a Fisherman Slam with the combo. Probably would have been better to go for a wall rising one there with the wall at my back. I've seen Bryan players do like turnaround combos when they're Fisherman slamming into a wall, but I don't know how to do it. He gets a good launch here. This should be death. He should go in with Rage Art. He does not. Okay, he's giving me a chance to live. Let's see what we can get around this. All of the lag. He doesn't follow up on that. Okay, we get the blocks on the down 4-4. Important to block that second mid. But it leads to nothing. We're getting a few lag spikes now, so I think I'm going to call this the last one and check my connection afterwards. I'm pretty sure it's not me. I'm on a hardwired 50 meg, but you can never be too careful. Mark kick there. Going in with the Oki. He stays down even after the soccer kick, which is shown me a good amount of respect there, and it paid off for him, but unfortunately he's back on the wall. Good down back 4-4, he's put me into the wall now. I've got to take his wake up pressure. Somehow we get around it and put him straight back on, but no combo due to the weird axis. But on our plus frames we just close it out with that nice solid down forward 2 elbow. It's just chunky. The only thing that... Okay, he gets me with the Tiger 4, that was nice. I absolutely hate it when lay players do that. If anyone here is a lay player and they run into me, just do that all day, because I know quite a bit about lay, but I'm not... That sort of stuff throws me for a loop. Anyway, we get the counter hit again on the delay after the quarter circle back 2-4. He's not represented any sort of duck against it, and I'm doing it sporadically enough that I wouldn't be concerned even if he did have the duck. If we were offline, I'd be dead buttoning it as well. I'd be doing quarter circle back 2 and then delay, and I'd hit 2 again, so nothing would come out, but you can see if they're actually looking for the duck or not because they can hear the buttons on my stick. And we just dash in and Chains of Misery to close it out. I'm going to call it a day there. So we'll be back again with another episode of Road to Ranked, and I think we're going to get back onto the ladder with Jin. But until next time, that is it. Peace out.